Welcome back to the War Song of Davokar, Part 8, where we see the Queenseekers reach their final objective and the Raiders decide on their next course of action in the Greater War. Here's how it went down. The Queenseekers have fought their way through the Underpalace, yet as they gather the two keystones they need to move forward into the palace itself and find the Queen, they are not entirely sure about their journey together. Bijan has become completely undone. The boisterous mercenary reflects on terrible jobs that he had to do in his past and now wonders if this is yet another misguided quest. He is not clear on the objective and he has severe doubts about proceeding. This clashes with the seemingly meek Melchizedek, who is the most stalwart on moving forward and getting this job done, killing the Queen so that he can go back home to his life of comfort. And he is willing to bend Bijan's will to this end. Xena has no questions about the quest, but rather questions about herself. Now becoming earthbound to save her from the wounds of the leeches, something that Mel enacted, she cannot activate the magic of her rune tattoos without them hurting her, and she has lost the mystical protection to the elements that the rune tattoos provided, now for the first time in years feeling truly naked in and out of battle. And Svanhild is as bloodthirsty as ever. She wants to get this done and makes it clear that she will cut down her companions if they stand in her way of killing the Queen. The party doesn't so much come together in this moment as agree to disagree. They can't move backwards. They can't just stay here. They have to keep going forward. This is their best shot at getting to the Queen. So they insert the keystones, they go to the final room of the Underpalace, where 6 black cloaks face them down. Svanhild tries to adopt a disguise and say, "Oh no, we are the Queen's spies, we're deep undercover," but the black cloaks immediately suss out her mystical mark, assume that she is an abomination and that these are barbarian invaders, and they get ready to fight. At which point, we cut back to the Raiders. It's been over a day since the heroes of Weasel Clan took the temple and the entire barbarian contingent razed Thistlehold to the ground. Now having divvied out the spoils of war, War Chief Tarhoon calls upon these heroes of Weasel Clan. He shows them a map confirming their winnings, promising them plains to the west of Thistlehold, which doesn't seem to satisfy some of the Weasel heroes, but others agree that this is what they fought for and that they could get more. This is what War Chief Tarhoon wanted to hear. He alerts them that this is not just one battle. This is indeed a war, and there were other fronts, other barbarian clans committed to other Ambrian cities. Savona was supposed to be the easiest of the 4 cities to take, and yet, the attack failed. He suspects treachery from the Zarek clan. Thistlehold was of course successful. Castor in the east was monumentally successful with very few barbarian losses. But Templewall, where the very, very most elite of the barbarian forces were invading the Templars and the priests in their religious capital, failed to secure Templewall. Now, as the Templewall barbarian forces retreat, War Chief Tarhoon is sending out his clan, as well as the victorious Vaivods from Castor, to catch these barbarians and mount a defense, and possibly counterattack and retake Templewall. He offers these options to the Weasel heroes to stay and farm their land, secure it from any Ambrians invading, or to go with him, and the Weasel heroes agree to rally whatever forces they can to help in this endeavor. This will be the next chapter on their journey. Zaya seemed the most excited for the battle to be over, to rest on her laurels. But when the heroes agree to move forward, she rebuilds her flaming servant and is set to move on. Rocco separated himself from the rest of the group and wasn't downed in the temple collapse, but he's also the most ready to keep raiding and keep conquering, to keep trying to make a new name for himself. Scab doesn't have much to say, and one would think she would, given her lifetime spent in Davokar, but all these clans and the Ambrians are still foreign to her, and she's still trying to find her place. Sook, despite being an absolute chaos gremlin, has kind of emerged as the speaker of these 4 Weasel heroes and is curious to earn more victories and solve more mysteries by rescuing these barbarians and taking Temple Wall. As she was searching through the rubble of the temple, she found a significant treasure, another lock of hair from the head of Queen Corinthia herself. Who knows what sort of concoctions Sook can come up with for this treasure. Meanwhile, the Queenseekers conclude their fight with the Black Cloaks, leaving the dungeon in a slew of bodies, with the last Black Cloak commander, Evelina, only giving harsh words in her death that they may not have been a match for these barbarians, but the worst is yet to come if they truly intend to face the Queen. The Queenseekers find treasures being researched by the Black Cloaks, an axe of Kadizar with the flaming and returning qualities which Bajan proudly tastes, giving him some extra nerve in the fight to come, and a helm of a Dark Lord of Alberator, which Svanhild doesn't hesitate to put on as she sprouts bestial wings and scale-like armor, her outward skin now reflecting the demonic bloodlust within as she charges forward. The group finds that the Pansars are leaving for the night, the throne room is unoccupied, the stairwell to the Spire of the Queen clear, save for a single red-robed, blonde-haired individual who the group charges down. Xena tackles, resulting in the cracked skull of the Vaivod barbarian servant to the Queen, her collar and bracelets suggesting that she may have been some sort of thrall to Corinthia. But the group must press on, Svanhild coldly remarking that death is better than servitude, not just for this servant, but for the entire clansfolk people. They use the hand of the presumed dead servant to gain access to the Queen's chamber, where they see the Queen sits in a high-backed red velvet chair, looking down at the coals of her enormous fireplace. She briefly reaches for her white porcelain mask, which Melchizedek mind throws towards the group, and yet the mask is caught with a twitch of Corinthia's finger. She asks what the group is here for. She was expecting her servant, but not a group of barbarians. And as Bajan enters in with his doubts, and the other 3 approach, saying they are ready to kill the Queen for everything she has done to their clansfolk. The Queen rises, Svanhild destroys her chair, and without a mask, they see the Queen. She says that of course 3 of them will try to kill her, but since Bajan so wants to just go home, she would be happy to take him there. And that is where the session ended. Next time, the Queenseekers face their Queen.